Hello YouTube and welcome back Blade Runner fans. I wasn't expecting to do this video very soon, but here it is. Amazon dropped the trailer for Blade Runner 2099, the somewhat I don't know if it's highly expected, but it's an upcoming TV show, and I'm on my part looking forward to it. Watching this, and Amazon decided to drop a trailer on I guess it was on Friday, the 24th of July, and it came across my timeline now, and I wanted to do a initial reaction on this trailer. So what you see moving there in the background is a curtain of my window, and I would say we just gonna get into this. We're gonna watch this trailer, and I'm gonna share my thoughts with you. We're gonna go over the comments that are here in the comment section, and yeah, I would say let's just watch it and give it a go. Oh, we don't have sound. Sorry for that. Just let me get this really quick here. I want to hear that over my headphones, so I can. It's still very silent, so I don't know why this is in this format.
We already fought a war. We lost. Replicants. They keep taking it all away. How much longer? Until we have nothing. Until we are nothing. The old world forever fights to come back. Humans want what was taken from them. But it's our time now.
Ooh, okay. New series, November 25th. Okay, there's so much time left in the trailer. That is just teasing stuff. Okay, so, what are my thoughts on this? First of all, a trailer is a trailer, and when I skip through it and when I see certain things here, like the art style, it is like you immediately get that this is in the world of Blade Runner. The art style, the brutalist architecture, it is all there. Nevertheless, it is a TV show, and the TV show is on a much smaller scale than for example a big blockbuster movie. So I'm not quite sure what budget Amazon greenlit for this, and I think we're talking 6 episodes here, and possibly a budget of 10 million an episode, so 60 million went into this. This would be a really small scale budget when it comes to a sci-fi movie, but we've seen sci-fi movies with low budgets in very big very much quote unquote small budgets, with like The Creator had a budget of, I guess it was about 80 million, and The Creator was a massive hit. So it's not always about the budget. And from the history of Blade Runner, the first Blade Runner had also a small budget, and they had to work around the budget limitations. So the budget isn't everything, as you can see, like for example in shows like Rings of Power that had the biggest budget ever, and it was at least for a TV show, and it was a flop. It flopped. It flopped on so many levels. Like, they had atrocious scripts, they had atrocious CGI effects, and I'm not quite sure if we're seeing miniatures here or if we're seeing if this all will be CGI, but I guess it's a mixture of both. Like, for example, when we see this, it could be a mixture of both. We have this holograms here.
We already fought a war. We lost. Replicants. They keep taking it all away.
Okay, so what we can take away from this scene is Hunter Schafer here is the protagonist of the series. She is, from what I've learned, the female Blade Runner, and she hunts replicants. So it appears that she has like distrust in them, and it is an allegory for like our modern society, and I think Blade Runner always was this allegory for a modern society. So back in the 80s, when the UdSSR was still, or the Soviet Union was still there, Blade Runner showed a future where the Soviets and the cultural aspects grew together. Like, it all mixed together, the American architecture, the Soviet architecture, the Soviet languages, Russian, there was a mixture of Hungarian, if I'm not mistaken. German was also mixed into this city speak. So what we're seeing here is a modern way of looking at Blade Runner. Like, modern society is mirrored in this one sentence, and it speaks, I guess, for the fact that replicants are allowed in 2099, even after what we've seen in Blade Runner 2049 and the ban of replicants after movie 1 and the reallowance of replicants in Blade Runner 2049 through Wallace. We're seeing here again the distrust of replicants. So there's not much of like change over the course of we have 2019 of the original Blade Runner, we have 2049 for the second movie, and we now have 2099. So over the course of 80 years, replicants have not found their purpose as being accepted in the society. So whatever shows up in the series, I'm pretty sure it will be a mirror of our modern society and modern views on like migration, immigration, immigrants coming to a country, taking away your jobs, I think Blade Runner 2099 has the potential to show us interesting views and interesting new perspectives. Like, we have a renaissance in cyberpunk media, especially since Cyberpunk 2077 came out. We have a renaissance. We're getting a new TV show also for Neuromancer, and cyberpunk fans are eating really good, or have been eating really good over the last couple of years. We had this almost forgotten show in 2017 that was Altered Carbon, that has had 2 seasons and was like cancelled after 2 seasons. But nevertheless, it showed what is possible for TV shows, and Neuromancer and Blade Runner 2099 are going to be like forerunners for cyberpunk media that is now seeing a renaissance. That's what I'm trying to say.
What?
Okay, so we have like, also here we have like mirroring imagery to Blade Runner media, and I think this could be like not really a problem, but it could be too much of nostalgia bait. I mean, Blade Runner as a franchise is not known for being for everyone, so it is a very niche movie series, so to speak. I mean, we have 2 movies, and both of them have been widely regarded after their release as cult classics, but still, when they initially came out, they were massive box office flops. They bombed at the box office, and they were not profitable when they came out, even though Denis Villeneuve built a career after that and made the Dune movies. The Dune movies are not comparable, but they're also very niche, or the books are very niche of Dune, but they were also forerunners, and without Dune there wouldn't have been Star Wars, and I think without Blade Runner there wouldn't have been a Cyberpunk 2077. Let's be honest here. Without Blade Runner there wouldn't have been cyberpunk media as explicit as Cyberpunk 2077. So what we see here could be potentially nostalgia bait, but it also could be really creative new things. Like, for example, when we see this billboard here in the original movie, this billboard was always seen with the Asian lady swallowing contraceptives, or the Coca-Cola, Atari, yada yada yada. We have seen it all, but what we see in the background here is much more interesting. We see this silhouettes of big corporate buildings. We see this foggy atmosphere here. We see this rainy atmosphere here, and we see that there's a certain aesthetic that they keep. I'm not sure if they copy this or if they only copy this, but I'm pretty sure that we gonna see a a known aesthetic in this, and I think this is a good thing that we have a familiar aesthetic, and an aesthetic that is consistent throughout the media, if you get what I'm saying. So if we see Blade Runner as a movie, Blade Runner 2049 as a movie, and now Blade Runner 2099 as a TV show, it's really cool that we have a consistent look, a consistent feeling for the world, and it's not that one media breaks with the aesthetics of the other. Like Blade Runner the original, had a blue tint, and the Blade Runner 2049 had a really orange tint. So and also had blue elements, and it was on a color spectrum. It was orange and blue, and those color schemes in filmmaking are very on the opposite spectrum, but they complement each other. So what I'm trying to say here is I'm pretty darn sure that Amazon did their homework on the complementary spectrum of colors, what would fit the TV show. And I think that this is a good thing, understanding the visual language of a medium or of a product, and not like, for example, tint this all in a pinkish tone or whatever. And I think we see this in this trailer, that we have this blue foggy atmosphere, and later on we also have orange tones, and we also see it in this neon red here, that they studied and understand the language. There, for example, now what we see here is this hologram, this Soviet Union. I can see it in this feed here, that we have this ballerina hologram, and there we have this, as I told you, the visual orange. There we have orange hair. We have some sort of, I would say this is some sort of concert or something. I mean, when I look at it from here, I can see in the background these columns, these in this building. This could be, I mean, I'm not quite sure, but it could be the Bradbury building. I'm not quite sure, but it could be. And also that is could fire back on so many levels, because you just copy and do nothing on your own with creative ideas. But it also could be massive respect for the original, and somebody did their homework on what Blade Runner should be. That's what I'm initially trying to say here.
Longer until we have nothing.
There we have a little more lighter tones, like when she slides. Just my doggy is right now a little. You're a little grumpy. You're a little grumpy. He's grumpy. What we see here could be the orphanage of Blade Runner 2049, but I'm not sure, and I'm not. I mean, it could. Can you just shut the fuck up, please? Ich schmeiß dich raus. Raus. Sorry for that. My doggy is got a little grumpy. So, as I said, this could be the orphanage of Blade Runner 2049, where Officer K finds out the truth. And I think this is also very, visually speaking, this trailer is very, very interesting. It has a lot of like visual references, but it has enough on its own that you see, oh, okay, maybe they're going in a totally different direction.
Until we are nothing.
For example, here we see extreme violence against the main character, Hunter Schafer. And that is maybe some sort of replicant malfunction. And I think this image here, or this imagery here, resembles very much the stuff that Deckard and Officer K went through. They also been beaten up by replicants, and I think, visually speaking, this is a good reference, and hopefully they not only copy or mimic, but they will also do enough on their own that the TV series maybe gets a second season, maybe Blade Runner gets more acknowledgement in pop culture. So yeah, I just hope for the best.
The old world forever fights to come back. Humans want what was.
Also here we have the flying car, the very cool imagery here. Also very cool that they resemble more of the style of Blade Runner, the original, than Blade Runner 2049, because in Blade Runner, the original, they had like this steam coming out, and in Blade Runner 2049, the flying car didn't have that. So
Want what was taken from them.
also here, interesting visual reference to Blade Runner 2049, where the replicants are born. Neander Wallace has born this female replicant and killed her immediately when he realized he didn't have the means like Tyrell had with what he did with Rachel. So Rachel was able to give birth, and Neander Wallace's replicants were not able, so he was on the hunt for the genetic code and the genetic engineering that made Tyrell's replicants so special. Like, this is interesting visual reference, and we also see that this here possibly is Hunter Schafer, and that she witnesses the birth of a replicant, and maybe even she's disgusted by it. You can also see here in the background there's imagery of like, it looks like a mannequin and not like a real human being. So interesting imagery here. Oh, possibly we're gonna go off-worlds, like we finally gonna see off-world, new worlds. Also here, possibly a replicant being born or being detached from its like from whatever, I don't know the word for it, from its pot or whatever. Really interesting. Oh yeah, there it is. The brilliant. I just love that they go this way. The Voidkampf test. Just so cool seeing this.
But it's our time now.
Also, what this whole scene, in combination of what happened before, reminds me of is if you played the Deus Ex Human Revolution game, where Adam is beaten up and made into a cyborg, and the essential question of this game was, how human is human, and what does it take to be a human? If you replace certain parts of your body with machinery and artificial arms, what is the Deus Ex or the ghost inside the machine? Other cyberpunk media like Ghost in the Shell also ask these questions. Like, we still have the essential questions here that makes cyberpunk great, and I think it doesn't necessarily need an answer, but I'm really I think it's really interesting what answers Blade Runner 2099 is giving us, or will give us. Maybe it won't give us any answers at all. Okay. So again, I think the trailer is okay, and we see here the likes and the dislikes. The trailer has not been well received until now. Brought to you by the very same people the films warn you about. 6 episode and on a cliffhanger, won't get a second season. It's the Amazon way. I want to have a good feeling about this, but I don't have a good feeling about this. The original was a masterpiece. This is Blade Runner. Oh god. The comment section on this is... Oh... This looks like a Blade Runner series made by someone who's only seen Blade Runner TikTok reels, but never actually watched the films. I would disagree with that. The dialogue in this trailer sounds like the characters are just reading plot summary out loud. Okay, fair point. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. It feels like I'm watching Timo Blade Runner. Okay. Hey Grog, write a Blade Runner sequel series that will somehow manage to piss everybody off. Put it on a platform that will also piss everybody off. The comment section here is absolute gold. I can take it with a sense of humor. Honestly, I wasn't convinced. Whatever Prime touches, it turns into dust, sawdust. How much CGI do you want? All of it. Again, I'm not quite sure that there was this much CGI. I'm very sure they also used some kind of miniatures, and yeah. I mean, I also have mixed feelings about this trailer, but I'm not completely negative on it. Like, it can still come out somewhat decent. No way it beats 2049. This will be like the Rings of Power of Blade Runner. Not so sure about that. I mean, what was the real critic against Rings of Power? Or what was valid critic against Rings of Power? The valid critic that I also share is that the dialogues in Rings of Power are atrocious. The writing is abysmal. Characters that we once loved behave like bumbling idiots. They make dumb decisions. They don't see the obvious, and basically that's it. And also the feeling of the series is, it feels cheap, despite being one of the most expensive TV series of all time. Amazon pumped $1 billion into Rings of Power for 5 seasons, and it looked cheap. It looked dirt cheap. It looked like a streaming show that didn't have the sense of scale that the movies had, even that the movies are not free of flaws, and it didn't do Tolkien's work justice. Like, that were the main critic points, and I think we cannot assume that Blade Runner 2099 has the same fate. For example, if you watch the Amazon show of Fallout was very, very, very well received. Like, I'm not this much into the Fallout universe, but from what I've seen and from what I've heard, the TV series was really good. Like, I'm not really into it. I didn't watch it until now, but from what I've heard, the TV show of Fallout was really good. So I'm willing to bet my money on it, or be a little more precise here. I'm willing to give this a fair chance to do reviews on it, watch every episode, go into details, and just be open-minded about the TV show. That's all I'm saying here. I'm open-minded when it comes to the Blade Runner TV show, and I hope you can share this to a certain degree. Don't be a naysayer. Don't be all negative on it. I see where the critic is coming from. I see something like this looks weirdly clean, if that makes sense. I see what I get what the person is trying to say, because if you like look at this, for example, this frame here, you don't have this grimy or dirty feeling about it. For example, this here, this environment where she like sees her on a
It's time now.
this here. It looks very clean. If you think back to Blade Runner, the original, it was a very dirty world. But again, this is like 40 years after 50 years after Blade Runner 2049, and 80 years after the original. I think, even though I get what the person is saying, I think that maybe there's an in-world explanation for why everything looks much cleaner now. I think that maybe it was necessary to for the society to go back to a more sterile environment. Maybe they overcame the issues that the world of Blade Runner was plagued by. But again, I get what the person is saying, and I'm willing to like see what the person is saying. For example, this here, in one frame we had rain, we had this dirty feeling about the world, and now we have this yellowish tint over it. Again, this looks more in line with the world of Blade Runner 2049, for 30 years after Blade Runner the original. And my neighbors are cooking. It smells like really good in here. I'm not cooking, my neighbors are cooking. But again, also what we see here is this retro future stuff here that, as I said, I'm willing to give this a fair chance. And I hope my certain Blade Runner fans, you will also give this a fair chance. After all, this is one of the few occasions where, after 2 failed attempts in cinema, Amazon is willing to give this another shot and pump money into it and give this franchise a fair chance. Because if we are realistic here, Blade Runner as a franchise does not have the same standing as Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones or any high fantasy series or any it doesn't even have the same standing, despite it being way older than, for example, Cyberpunk 2077. After Cyberpunk 2077 came out, we had a huge renaissance in cyberpunk media, and we can thank Cyberpunk for that. We can thank CD Projekt Red for that Cyberpunk has some sort of renaissance, and I want this to be successful. I want this to be a success. I want this to be good. I want this to be a long-running, prosperous TV show that we possibly get some good merchandise from, like, hopefully, maybe, so that I can do other reviews on Blade Runner stuff. And yeah, that's are my thoughts on the Blade Runner 2099 trailer, and I hope we see each other soon, and have a good day. Bye bye.